great question, and we definitely face challenges because we are an exclusively remote team. But I think in that same token, like it kind of gives us the opportunity to like really dig into efficient ways for us to like have team alignment. So, one of the things that I do want to say is like I have it very easy as like the person who kind of oversees the team. We have an absolutely amazing and incredible team. So I think the first thing that I would say is hire slow, fire fast. Not to say like you should fire everybody, but it's really important to find the right people who are actually talented and like very passionate about what they're doing, especially within the e-commerce space because it's so fast paced. So you need people on your team who are going to be pushing the envelope and like very curious and wanting to kind of explore like different ways to achieve things for clients. Our team is unbelievable. Super bright, super talented individuals. They are highly, highly passionate about the e-commerce world. So it makes it very easy for me in terms of like team alignment. I think the biggest thing is so we have like a department head call every Monday morning. So then that way we can kind of chat through like wins from the past week, things that are upcoming for this week. But the nice thing is it kind of like gives us an opportunity for team members from not opposing teams, but differing teams who don't necessarily touch the same clients to kind of talk through like what they're developing for their teams. So that definitely provides kind of like like an open layer of communication so that people can hear like, oh, this client's doing this. There might be an in for the lifecycle team because it's a web client or vice versa. So that makes it really, really easy for us to kind of chat through like, okay, this is what's coming up. These are our goals. This is kind of like what we're trying to do in order to make sure that clients are feeling as successful as possible under our care. So I would say the biggest thing is finding the right people. That's going to be like your token to everything and taking the time to find those right people and like make sure that they want to be here. They're also committed to the success of clients, almost even more so like above and beyond their own success. Kind of piggybacks off of my last response regarding like team alignment. So again, kind of circling back to that department head call that I was talking about, where sort of it allows all department heads across multiple teams to kind of speak freely about what they're doing. One of the things that we're like really trying to emphasize over the last couple months and into the next year is how we can sort of like shamelessly plug our other tools and services that we provide for clients. So we're always testing different ways to do this. Just to make sure that we're kind of giving like a well-rounded client experience to all of our clients. So one example that I can share kind of off the top of my head is our web team. They focus primarily on Shopify migrations, which tend to be more of like one-time projects. One of the things that we're definitely working on is trying to shift from one-time projects into these ongoing relationships with our customers. But one of the other things that our web team does really seamlessly is once or as we're wrapping up the project for a web client, the web team is kind of talking through what that wrap up looks like, what the sort of like ongoing services will look like over the course of the next few weeks to fully wrap up the project. But then there's also an introduction to other team members. So that way we can sort of like walk through the other services that we provide. Our team will also provide some level of like a free audit. So that way it's not just, hey, we're just looking at your website and we've migrated it and see you later. There's a lot of care that goes into what our team is doing and what they're looking at for clients. So as we're wrapping stuff up, if we see any opportunities for growth within their life cycle from a web client, we'll typically introduce our lifecycle manager, and then she'll kind of walk through some of those opportunities. Whether or not a client wants to move forward with us at an ongoing capacity, totally up to them. No harm, no foul. It's just something that we like to do to make sure that when clients leave us for these one-time projects, in this specific example, they feel taken care of. They feel like we've really done our due diligence to not only look at their website, but look at everything else that kind of will support the work that we've done. So I'd say that's kind of a big thing that we've been working on. And again, that's just a more recent example that we've started to lay out for our clients just to make sure that things feel a lot more fluid, like across our team, but then also for our clients as well. One of the things that we try to do a lot is kind of encourage like self-development and self-learning. There are obviously opportunities for us to provide like paid trainings and things like that, but it's not always available to us. So we try to encourage as much continuous learning that like people kind of will take on their own accord. So like if, for example, someone's having like a little bit of a lighter workload day. It's very rare, especially at this time of year, but if they're having a lighter workload day, one of the things that I always encourage the team is like, hey, take a couple hours to do some training and kind of figure out what's going to help you and kind of set you up for success for future clients. Hosting different brainstorm sessions. So, like the lifecycle team, one example, they host a monthly strategy call where our lifecycle manager, Nikki, she'll actually create a sort of like mock client or mock client situation and then have the team brainstorm on how to solve for the client's needs, which I think is phenomenal. I mean, she and the team are incredible. The whole team is amazing. But they also talk through sort of like current events within the life cycle world. The other nice thing is because we have such strong